In a criminal justice system, kidnapping and drug crimes are considered especially heinous. In Puebla City, the characters involved in the trial are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. With the performances of Diana Morales, Abril Sánchez, Jesús Telles, Isabela Rosales, Emiliano Islas, Karen Ramírez y Ruth Corte. Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. Today we present Kidnapping and Drugs.
On Thursday, June 25, 2024, at 19 p.m., a complaint was filed for the disappearance of Sofia Costa. At 19:20, the case is in the hands of the Specialized Unit in Investigation of Kidnapping Crimes, who starts with the protocol. The investigation shows that the cell phone of the missing girl is in the house with the address Street Matamoros, number 325, suburbs La Piragua. On Friday early morning, the police decided to go to that address with a previous plan, hoping the girl will be there. The next day at 9 a.m., the police and other authorities arrive at the house, and after searching all over the place, they found the disappeared girl in the cellar of the house, which is located outside. The main suspect is Sandra Roman.
Take your seat, please. Good afternoon. We are meeting here since we were summoned to solve the trial against Sandra Romano for the guilt of crime of kidnapping and attempted murder committed against Sofia Costa, based on the Article 318 of the CNPP. This court proceeds to carry on the oral trial. Now the defense can present their information.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm the lawyer Jesus Paisano, public defender attached to Sandra Romano. I will be the one to speak all the times in this trial.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm the lawyer Abril Sanchez, public defender to Sofia Costa. I'll be the one who speaks at all the times during this trial.
Judges will proceed to make their corresponding opening statements.
On Thursday, 23 of June at 2 p.m., she was at school. One of the last people she was with was her history teacher and Sandra, who was supposed to go with a classmate's house in order to do a school project. When they left the classroom, they had a discussion. Because of that, my client decided to walk to her classmate's house. Minutes before she arrived, my client made sure that someone attacked her by her back. Then this person proceeded to cover her head with a bag with the intention of suffocate her. It is at this point that my client lost consciousness. On June 24 at 12 p.m., Miss Sofia was found in the cellar of Sandra's house by the authorities, who brought her safety. I will show now the evidence we have that affirms that happened to my client.
My client agrees with the events narrated of the day Thursday, 23rd of June until 2 p.m. But at this part of the story, my client went straight to her house, living with Miss Sandra for the following hours, without contact with the girl till the day of June, where the authorities returned finding Miss Sofia in the cellar of her house. I want to point out that my client ensures that she did not have any type of contact with Miss Sofia, and that her house is big enough for someone to enter with the intention of blaming her for this terrible crime. Based on the lack of information and evidence, we maintain our position that Sandra is.
Sandra Romano, we will start with you. Can you say your name loud and clearly, please, and mention if you have any nicknames?
Sandra Romano Martinez, and I don't have a nickname.
What's your address?
Street Matamoros, number 325, Colony La Piragua.
Do you have any questions about your rights?
No, Your Honor, I don't have any questions.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Miss Sandra, tell to Your Honor the reason why you are here, please.
A complaint has been filed against me for the crimes of kidnapping and the attempting of murder of Sofia Costa.
Could you tell us how the events happened?
On June 23, I was at school with Sofia finishing history class because the teacher asked us to stay longer, and then we were going to go to a classmate's house to do a project.
And what happened next?
We had an argument and I decided to go home instead of accompanying her to the project, where I stayed for the rest of the day. I tried to contact Sofia for the next hours, but she did not answer her phone, and I thought she was still upset with me because of our fight.
Didn't you try to pick her up at her house?
No, because we had a couple fights before and she was the one to look for me.
Okay, continue.
And on June 24, officers came to my house to search, and in my backyard in the cellar, they found Sofia tied up. They arrested me after that and took me to the public prosecutor's office.
Defense of the defendant, you can proceed to the questions.
So, Miss Sandra, you said have been in school and returned your home without interventions in the way.
That's right, I went straight to my house.
After the event, did you leave your home?
No, I stayed in my house till the next day that I left to go to school.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Pass the victim, Sofia Costa, to the front along with her attorney. Miss Sofia, I'm going to ask you to say your name loud and clearly.
Sofia Costa.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Miss Sofia, could you give us your version of the events starting on June 23rd at the end of your classes?
In that day, we were with the history teacher and we stayed at the end of the class because she gave us our grades. After that, Sandra and I were supposed to go to classmate's house, but we started to argue and she left.
Why was the discussion?
Because I was trying to get Sandra to stop using drugs.
Continue.
I didn't have anybody to drive me home, so I decided to go walking, and before I arrived, I felt someone who took me from the back and put a bag on my head. Then he began to suffocate me with his hands.
Did you also put the bag on you?
No,
Continue.
I lost consciousness, and when I woke up, I was on the floor in a room. Sometime later, I heard Sandra's voice far away.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Defense of the accused, you can proceed with the questions.
Miss Sofia, you were saying you couldn't see who was the person attacking. Could you ensure it was my client?
No,
Do you think my client has a reason to hurt you?
at that moment, no, but now I do it.
You doubt it?
Objection.
Deny it. Please continue.
You were telling me that you have doubts about why.
Yes, I do it. I don't know if she has a reason, but it hurts to think that she was. But how do you think I would accuse her without being sure? In fact, she will be the last person I will think of.
No more questions.
Let witness number 1 to pass to give her a statement. Ms. Gonzalez, could you provide me with your full name, please?
Mónica González Serrano.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear it.
Miss Monica, what is your relation with Miss Sofia?
She's my student. I'm a history teacher in high school.
Miss Sofia on Thursday 23rd.
The last time I saw them, it was at my class. Sophia and Sandra stayed longer to clarify some grades, and after that, they went home, and I didn't know more.
What did you do after giving her the grades?
I went to my car and I had coffee with my husband, and after that, we went home.
That you were in the places you mentioned?
Yes, there are security cameras in the cafe, and the person who helped us with cleaning at my house can tell the time we arrived home.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Let witness number 2 pass to the stand. Please take the place of the witness. Could you provide me with your full name, please?
José Ramírez.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear it.
When was the last time you witnessed Miss Sofia?
On Thursday, June 23, coming out of the bathroom with me, Sandra, then I opened the main exit so they could leave the school.
Did you see where Sofia and Sandra were going?
No.
What did you do after that?
I stayed at school at 8 p.m. shift, then I went to my home. That's all.
Do you have any way to prove that you were in the places you mentioned?
Yes, my co-workers can back my word, also my wife and my kids.
Mr. Jose, when you heard that there was a fight taking place in the bathroom, did you decide to do something about it?
No, I do no.
Why not?
Come on, there are two teenagers. Surely the next day they will forgive each other.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Miss Sophia, are there any manifestations before I make my statement?
As much as it hurts, I can't deny the evidence.
Miss Sandra, are there any manifestations before I make my statement?
I'm innocent. I swear I'm telling the truth about what happened that day. I don't have any reason to hurt Sophia. She's like my sister. I would never do anything that can damage her.
Once I have heard both each person, I will decree a 10 minutes break to deliberate in private and issue the corresponding ruling. The debate is declared closed and I proceed to deliberate.
Yeah. During the break, the defendant's parent came to show new evidence for the trial in favor of their daughter. The evidence is a bunch of security videos. They installed cameras in their house with the purpose of monitoring their daughter. The video shows the victim's ex-boyfriend entering the house of the accused, and hours later, he is observed going to the trunk of his car. Then, he is observed taking the victim's body out of the car, and it is seen as he introduced it in the house until it was located in a room placed in the backyard of the defendant's house.
With this last evidence provided by my client's parents, we can prove her innocence. I ask the honorable judge to take this evidence to make a new trial.
After the intervention of Sandra's parents and with the evidence shown, the judge decided to open a new trial, where Sandra was declared innocent. A week later, a new trial began. This was Luis Jimenez, who was the ex-boyfriend of the victim and current partner of Sandra.
Yes, I tried to kill Sofia.
Why did you do it?
Sofia tried to intervene in the relationship I want to have with Sandra.
How did you do it? With details, date and places.
On June 23, I was waiting for Sofia and Sandra outside the school to follow them in my car without being seen. Around 2 in the afternoon, I noticed that Sandra went out alone, so I assumed that they won't go together, and I went to Sofia's house to wait for her a few streets back. At that time, I noticed she was alone. I attacked her from behind, trying to suffocate her. I put what I thought was her dead body in my car. I went to Sandra's house where we got drugs, and when I saw that she was unconscious, I decided to take the opportunity to move the body to the cellar of the backyard.
What were you planning to do with your body?
I thought that in a few hours I could return to the house to get rid of, but then I saw the police and I decided not to return.
The judge will then give the final verdict.
The acts performed by Luis Jimenez were clearly intended to harm Sofia's physical integrity, were carried out without no mercy. The defense shows no sign of remorse because he represents a danger to the public welfare. This count finds Luis Jimenez guilty of the offense of kidnapping and attempted murder, which carries a sentence of 30 years for the kidnapping of Sofia and 19 years for the attempted murder of Sofia, in accord with the cause set out in the Article 146 of the Criminal Code. The present hearing is closed.
Sandra's parents took care of her drug addiction. The accused is now in prison, serving a 49-year sentence.
Drug abuse in Mexico affects mostly teenagers and young adults, with the cannabis being the most widely used drug, followed by ecstasy and amphetamines. The drug most consumed were marijuana, inhalants, and tranquilizers, which correspond to the national consumption pattern.
Many young people today use drugs as an escape. If you have problems, ask someone you trust for help or call 01800911200. If you have a family member or know someone who is dependent on drugs, try. Learn about what is happening to them. Show them that you are concerned about their drug use. Open their eyes to the problem of using drugs. Let them know you are there to help them. Talk about addiction.
No one is exempt for this type of issue. The important thing is to seek help when you realize that it's becoming an addiction, because your life could depend on it.
Drug abuse not only leaves consequences to those who consume them, but also to those around them. Please speak out whenever you see someone consuming these addictive substances, and if you're one of them, look for help as soon as possible. You're not alone.
On a global scale, Mexico is in the second place of kidnapping crimes. According to the Citizen Council for Public Safety and Criminal Justice, it considers that on average for each reported kidnapping, 5 are not reported.
Puebla is the 8th state most affected by kidnappings in Mexico. Of 85 kidnappings committed, the authorities only count 46.
The states with the highest incidence are Veracruz, Mexico City, Puebla, and Morelos. If you witness any kidnapping or any situation that seems like it, please contact the authorities as soon as possible. Any kind of information can help a lot of people that disappears every day.